Welcome today to the A2B1 Podcast with Anime Fire of the Week. Today we're discussing GT vs. Super. I'm joined today by Axel Powers, Cody Sal, my friend Sawyer Pruitt, and myself. Let's get down to business. Axel, what do you think?
I mean, overall, I think that GT's better than Super. I know that's a little bit of a hot take, but...
Oh, it sure is.
Yeah,
I
it's just that where there's story, like the good story arcs where they are, I think they are better executed than Super's. Like, I think that the Baby Saga beats any arc in Super. Like...
I mean, one of the biggest things I liked about GT was the whole Nega Dragon thing. Like,
you like the Shadow Dragon?
Oh, I really enjoyed that. Like, that was my favorite thing about GT was those dragons, because I think they were really interesting.
In concept, I thought they were really good. I will say that because I loved the fact that they were all based off of wishes everyone made, and the more pure the wish, the eviler the dragon. Because, you know, the one good dragon was Nova, because... Nova was the guy, the red one.
Oh.
And his wish was King Piccolo when he wished for youth. That's another reason why I really like that, but anyway...
I really enjoyed the one that was wished from the panties.
Yeah, she was neutral. Yeah, Oceanus. She was neutral.
What was the wish that you were from? Underwear! I just thought it was funny. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think as far as GT and Super goes, one is a lot better with continuity, and the other has like the more explosive fights, the more interesting fan service, things like that. So it's kind of just which do you prefer?
Yeah, I definitely will say the fights in Super are better.
Oh, I loved watching Master Roshi kick somebody's ass.
That's another thing that Super did well. Super actually, mostly in the Tournament of Power, explored the side characters and like had them develop more. Mm-hmm. Like you got to see Tien as a master at his own dojo. You got to see Master Roshi actually keep up with training and actually be really strong. Yeah. Even Krillin with his cop thing that I don't really like.
You got to see Boo skinny.
Yes, and then he ended up not in the tournament.
Yeah, that was really weird. It's like, hey, let's do this really cool thing with Majin Buu.
They've done that so many times. They did it with the Universe 6 versus 7. Boo was asleep. Like, they always just make him fall asleep. Yeah. And it's because they know he's too powerful. Because one, he's too strong. Like, in the Tournament of Power, he would have been... One, he's a powerhouse, and two, like he can heal people. Yeah. Like that's just too broken.
He can turn people into chocolate.
He can turn people into chocolate and then just throw them out of the ring. Yeah. He can absorb people because it doesn't kill them, and then he would just gain more and more power as he just absorbed more and more people. Yeah. Like,
I'd like to elaborate a little bit. When I say continuity, the thing I think GT does really well is feeling like an extension of both Dragon Ball and Z. Like it feels like a new chapter, and it takes elements from those two better than I think Super does. Super feels like, oh, this is Z Season 11, not really its own thing. And it kind of retroactively almost feels like it undoes some stuff. Like, I mean, they took a whole episode of Z away because they needed to make it fit, which I still don't know how they're going to do, but, that's a problem for them in the future.
Oh, you're talking about Oob?
Yeah, eventually they're going to catch up to that episode.
But Oob makes no sense now.
No.
Because, I mean, who cares about the reincarnation of Kid Buu? Like, no. When you got gods flying around and shit?
I definitely
why would Goku bother with training the dude?
Oh, I definitely think they're still going to do it.
They'll bring him around. They'll probably just change.
I was going to say, they've mentioned him a lot in Super.
Yeah, they have.
And they keep, like, hinting, like, oh, you need to train that you might be interested in this guy, but why would he care if he knows Jiren and Broly exist?
To be fair, you just got done saying, Boo is this powerhouse because he can do all these things, so maybe he'll think, ooh, can do similar things and turn him into a different
That's true. It's just that Oob has the limitations of a human.
But, see, that's what we're assuming because we've watched GT and we know how it's went,
how it was executed in GT.
They could completely change it.
That's true. They could make him more like Majub right off the bat.
Right. I think they would.
Yeah, and that would be a lot more interesting.
They would give him more of the original
Kid Buu's
power.
Qualities, yeah.
Yeah. I don't believe we'd ever see them actually fuse again.
Oh, no. Boo's a too popular of a character to get rid of like that.
That was one thing I thought GT did pretty poorly. GT didn't give a lot of great attention to the side characters, whereas Super
Oh no,
gives
it was Goku time. Like
I
that's
mean,
what people make fun of.
I was-
but
side characters.
I was not a fan of the first season of
Nobody
GT.
is.
Like, it was just boring. I had to push
Well,
through to finish
They
it.
just wanted to do Dragon Ball again, and that's what they did, and nobody enjoyed
they also
it.
wanted to have a young character as the main character. They wanted to make Goku young again, so it could appeal to kids. But you already had Pan. Like, Pan was already the young character that could have been throughout the whole
Right.
thing and been
Right.
like Gohan in Dragon Ball Z. Like, we did not need Goku turning into a kid again.
No, like, I just didn't.
Also,
think it was
the Black Star Dragon Balls don't make any sense. Why they exist.
Right.
Like-
so what do you think, Sawyer?
If I'm being really honest, I honestly thought GT was pile of crap.
Oh, I mean, I honestly don't think either is great.
Like-
if I'm being completely honest.
I had to just push myself to finish GT.
I will say that I think that the baby arc is a good, like a decent arc.
Yeah.
Like that's as much as I'll give it, but that one is entertaining because of the villain and the
And
corruption and things.
And also, I feel like they did 17 really badly in GT, while
Yes, that's true.
And it's
Super did a very good job with 17, where GT did not.
I forget what bad thing did they
like,
do to Super?
Super 17.
Oh, I mean, I enjoyed how he looked,
and then meanwhile,
It makes
in
no
Super,
sense.
he was
but I just
probably
like how it looks.
one of the best characters in that series. If not,
Oh yeah, Super made 17 an amazing character. Whereas, I mean, honestly, Super 17 was a fan favorite, whether it made sense or not. It was one thing that a lot of people did enjoy about GT, but I can't deny it. It doesn't. Make
It's a
any
really
sense.
yes, and it's a really bad arc because it's literally just thrown in. It's just
Yeah,
automatically
yeah.
it just happens, and it's like,
Yeah.
what's going on? Like, and then you have, and that was another bad thing is like the Shadow Dragon saga just immediately turned in. Like as soon as they got that threat out of the way, fucking,
It felt like they didn't want this to be a thing, really.
like it was a very short arc. Like it's almost like not an arc. It's so short. Like
I feel like all of GT feels that way. It all feels rushed and just
Oh,
kinda
but
like,
the first season feels like it drags on forever.
well, but like as far as like actual plot thing, you just
I don't know.
railroaded.
I think the baby saga actually was pretty well paced. Because, I mean, you saw him in the little lab tube and all that, and then you saw him slowly go to Earth, take over everything. Then he brought back Planet Vegeta.
I think Baby as
Well-
a character was amazingly done.
Well, when I say negative things about GT, I more mean everything except that, because that is kind of like the one diamond of that
Yeah.
whole show. And I do need to, I think, stress the things I don't like about Super. It feels like fan service. I think that's the biggest problem. Whereas GT may be bad. It tried its own thing and it committed to them.
Yeah.
But Super, it's just, like, okay, let's see these favorites.
Get
you know,
stronger and
get
stronger and do
stronger and
more. Let's have Vegeta do the final explosion again, except for this time it doesn't kill him.
Yeah, and also, like...
that was weird. I didn't like that. I'm like,
It was because he was stronger. That was the whole
It's
thing.
still dumb.
Like his body was able to withstand
I think
it.
it makes sense.
I just didn't like it. I'm like,
I can see both sides because at the same time, yes, he's stronger, but so is the blast he's making. So
they should have made it to where the explosion literally made him weak enough to
It
do
did.
absolutely nothing.
or it did for a while anyway. I mean,
Well-
he did get better.
Well,
But,
I don't think it was stressed enough.
no, he definitely not. But that moment I thought was really good with like him thinking of Bulma, and I think that was the last voice acting that the Japanese voice actress of Bulma was in. Was that thought back for him?
I believe you're right.
So I thought that whole scene was pretty good.
So, which do y'all prefer, Super Saiyan 4 or the God transformation?
Super Saiyan 4.
Yeah, Super Saiyan 4.
Hands down. I think
Oh,
Super
yeah.
Saiyan 4 is like an
Ooh, you're
amazing
cheesing it.
transformation.
I have to go Super Saiyan God.
I mean, that's definitely I feel, popular opinion. But, I mean, I like Super Saiyan 4. I think it fits more. I think it fits the Saiyan race. Like, it doesn't feel like this thing that kind of just is like, oh, here, let's just change his color again.
literally
Literally
turning into a
anyone
monk,
can
like,
gain
part
God
monkey.
Ki. Like, so it's
Right.
not a Saiyan specialty. Like,
Right.
I mean,
think
Blue is technically a Saiyan
I
specialty.
think that's why I like it though.
I can see that.
Because
I
it's
can
a
see that
form for
reason.
anybody that
Yeah,
anybody
it's
could
not.
achieve.
It's not specifically just for Goku and Vegeta. Anyone can obtain it.
Yeah. It feels very much kind of like a Dragon Ball type thing, because it's like a
Yeah.
mystic thing that anyone can do. Whereas Z was,
part
aliens.
part of their thing.
It's like,
And that's one, like, I love Dragon Ball, don't get me wrong, but Z already ruined the whole mystical
right.
element. So
try and go back to something like
yeah,
that.
to
And,
go
like,
back to
who
gods and
knows?
stuff doesn't really.
Later down the road, like maybe later in Super, Gohan learns to use God Ki or something like that.
I mean, he definitely could. I mean,
Yeah.
Trunks did.
Piccolo would be an interesting one. But I will say, like,
not a Namekian god. Not the super Namekian god.
I don't think that the god transformations are bad. The only reason I ever thought the original god, I thought, I don't know if I could say it's bad, but I definitely did not enjoy that it was obtained through multiple Saiyans. Which actually, I suppose at that point it would have been a Saiyan transformation.
Yeah, the original god, like, I mean, both of them are technically a Saiyan transformation, but anyone can. It's just them attaining God Ki, though.
Yeah, just how they
so when
did
a Saiyan attains God Ki, they get that.
But I definitely
form.
didn't enjoy. I mean,
red form.
They knew that it was what they were going for because they made Goku comment on it. But I didn't like how it wasn't his power that he obtained.
Yeah.
At the beginning, they did essentially retcon that.
Oh yeah.
Because I think they could tell that people weren't exactly thrilled about it.
Not really a Goku thing. Like, Goku doesn't like doing that stuff.
Well, no Saiyan enjoys doing something like that because they want to achieve stuff with their own power. Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I think they retconned it because it is realized.
Well, I mean, they didn't. I mean, the initial transformation still came from them. It's just he attained, like, he kept the power from being in that form.
So, which is your favorite GT villain and which is your favorite super villain?
Man, I mean...
Mine's easy, but go ahead.
Mine's probably, in Super, the Goku Black, just because I think it's a really interesting character that they could have done a lot more with.
Also the worst arc.
Well, I think
it's
Goku...
not the worst arc.
I think Goku Black
it's the worst original arc, I guess.
I think just Goku Black just got, like, ruined. Like, I think Goku Black could have been a really good character, but I think he just
he was at first.
Like, got ruined there near the end.
Like, literally at the very beginning, the first time you see him, I think is when he kills Bulma from the future.
It is.
And it's just like, fuck.
Yeah. The only time that was better was when I saw it in Terminator, like 20 years before that.
I mean...
But anyways, I agree. I mean, I think Black is an amazing character. I think that arc is awful. I think
it had potential, but they just dropped the ball.
Well, I think
continuity doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, they fucked that all up. Like,
well, that's like, I think it was cool to see the whole Trunks thing again, but I think like I said, I think it was executed like you all said. I think it was executed badly. Like,
but I mean, that's not a knock against the character. What about your GT choice?
My GT choice would probably have to be...
I mean, I'm sure everyone's thinking Baby.
That's the one I'm thinking of. And I think that's very interesting because Goku Black and Baby are kind of similar. Like, they're both wanting revenge against a Saiyan. They both take the body of the person they hate.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of... they're both trying to take over the world, sort of.
For sure.
I mean, I think I'm going to go different and say the dragon dude.
Omega?
Yeah.
Or Omega, whichever one you want to call him.
Omega. I think I'd have to go with him because I just really enjoyed those dragons that dragon arc as a whole because I just thought it was really.
I don't think he's a good villain though, like at all.
I mean, I just enjoyed him.
Go ahead and say your pick, Sawyer.
Yeah. So I think my favorite GT villain. This is gonna be a weird one because I just like the way he looked. It was yeah.
Please let me
it's
think.
the first main villain from the first season, the one of the Metal World.
Real though?
I liked the way he looked. I thought he was cool.
That's kind of like he had an interesting power.
Yeah, sure did.
The way he basically, I think towards the end he just became part of that planet. Like he was a metal planet man.
What do you think I was gonna say?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Daltake.
That's who I thought you were gonna say.
Is that
the dude who controlled the big mech thing?
Yeah. I thought that was the dance group you were talking about.
No, the Para brothers. No, they are also a gym.
A gym covered in crap.
Team Rocket for GT.
So I don't know if this one can count or not, and I think it opens a whole other discussion discussing the movie. But would you count Broly
as
from
a villain?
The movie? I mean, would he be a villain or would he be a hero?
No. He's definitely not a villain.
He's the antagonist.
He's the antagonist of that movie, but he's not a villain.
Okay, well that's the other question is Frieza. Like, could I count him?
Yes.
Okay, then Frieza from Super for sure. I think that's the thing Super does the best is his whole character arc. I think Frieza's character arc is
everything besides how he gets stronger.
Oh yeah.
That's real bad.
That's right.
Because he literally got stronger from the Resurrection F part to the other one because he was in hell thinking of ways to kill Goku.
Yeah,
that's
weird. I also think that harkens back to Dragon Ball. It's just nonsense, and it's just nonsense for nonsense sake.
But I did like I think when he transforms into Golden when he first comes back and gets his body with the halo.
Mm-hmm.
I think that transformation looks better than the movie's transformation,
which is
really?
surprising. Yes, because I mean, Super, is known for not having the greatest animation, but
Very fair.
some episodes they hit the nail on the head.
Especially
They sure did them.
especially some of them in.
I heard it's episode
Super.
to episode.
And that's the main reason they brought Frieza back for the Tournament of Power, to sell them figurines, because now they can put a little halo on top of him and sell a whole new line.
And GT, I mean,
Aaron's bought them all.
It is baby, but I'll specifically say baby Vegeta. Like,
Oh yeah, no, it's great when he goes grade 8.
Do you is that a
grade
different villain?
And I like the fact that he
I
couldn't.
consider it. It's
So-
not, but
so
I'm
it's
just
like
going to.
so we're going back to Boo.
no.
Like each Boo is different.
Well, HBoo is different.
Oh, that's fair.
It's kind of similar. Like, it's similar to Goku Black. Like, towards the end, like, starting Goku Black is not the same character as ending Goku Black, because he allowed that Saiyan instinct to overtake him. And you can kind of say the same thing about Vegeta, baby Vegeta, because he kept wanting to, like, when he became Golden Great Ape, he did seem very different than he did before. Like, you could tell there was more kind of rage. He was supposed to be like a calculated villain, but he became more raged and just
hate.
wanting to kill, Super Saiyan 4 Goku.
Just pure hate. Blinding rage.
Sure.
Is that kind of
I
thing?
never got to say my favorite super villain.
Oh yeah, we completely forgot you were here. What did you want to say?
Thought we just didn't like him.
Well, it's a natural conversation.
It's
So
okay.
we can just revisit it.
So this part kind of like, I don't really consider him a villain, but I really like the fight, like the whole Universe 6 and 7.
So Hit.
Yeah, I thought
He's once again not a villain.
I know, but
He did kill Goku though.
I think his whole character is really cool though. The
fact that he's a 1,000-year-old assassin with time powers.
Yeah, I think that's.
I mean, that's fair.
I mean, I
He's
think
very
he's a
unique.
very interesting
And,
character.
Oh no! In the 6 versus 7 tournament, I was super interested in what
And
Hit could do.
I also really like they brought back Kaioken. I love because
I did.
Yeah.
Kaioken's one of my favorite power-ups in that series.
It completely fucks Vegeta because Vegeta will never be able to be stronger than Goku.
That's not true.
How so?
Because you got that Evolution Blue Vegeta. They say that his Evolution Blue is the same as Goku in Kaioken times 40 or whatever.
But then he'll just go to Kaioken.
But he can't. Or he can't go beyond. Like 40 was like everybody was
I thought
surprised.
it was 20.
He does 20, but he does 40 at another point in the Tournament of Power.
Does he?
And it's like he can't go past that.
Oh, so
If he goes past that, he'll fuck himself up real bad. And like,
I mean, he'll just eat
because
a
they took a whole episode in Super after that fight with Hit, where he couldn't control his body because of going Kaioken times 10. I think is what he ended up doing in that.
You're right.
So it's one of those things like, yeah, he would be stronger for a brief second, but then he would be out of commission for days.
Right.
Couldn't he just eat a Senzopi though?
If he had one,
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Well,
he could
let's
technically do that.
then but I mean that means if Vegeta
Yeah.
has one, like
Yeah.
then the same thing happens
Yeah.
again.
I did like that they gave Vegeta his own transformation.
Yeah,
Like, a
Evolution
unique
Blue.
thing.
But it's not that unique though.
Oh,
you
it's not.
You get to see I mean I thought it was cool, but the design's not the greatest. Like I mean, he just gets darker blue hair, and you can see his pupils.
See, I disagree. I think the design's cool. So I guess
And you get the little sparkles of blue.
I think with this, I think more of the symbolic thing of Vegeta Master Super Saiyan Blue. Because I think
No, that's fair. That is kind of what that
that's
is.
full control of God Ki, and
But-
that's something Goku hasn't done yet.
But then they give.
Well, no, Goku has done way more
yeah,
than
with
Ultra Instinct.
Ultra Instinct.
Now
Well, no,
Vegeta
with
can definitely
Super
never
Saiyan
beat
Blue.
him.
Ultra Instinct is the worst thing Super did.
Yeah.
I was,
I was-
I was fixing to ask y'all, what did y'all think of Ultra
But I do get what
Instinct
you're saying.
and how
about
they
Master
did it.
Blue.
Well, with Signed, or Omen, whatever you want to call it, the darker headed form, that one was okay. I was okay with it at that point, but whenever he gets the white hair and all that's too much. That basically just means like the only person that can beat Goku now is the Angels.
And if they were to do that, they'd be erased, correct?
What?
Aren't the Angels erased if they interfere?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Well, no, but they can fight them as long as they don't like kill them or like permanently injure them or something like that.
So by that logic, then there's no one in the universe that could kill Goku.
Omni King, he can do whatever.
Oh well, yeah.
Or-
But he's his buddy, so
That's true.
that's not
He
happening.
gave
I
him.
mean,
He gave him a button.
Yeah. So the best thing that I think Super did is the creation of the female Super Saiyans.
Oh, absolutely. I love
think
Kale and
That was
Khalifa.
something people wanted for a long time.
The fact
Right.
that they made another Planet Vegeta is great. It's not called that. It's called Planet Plant, I think.
Yeah,
But
something like that.
or no, Salad.
Salad.
Planet
So it's
Salad.
not
Yeah.
Planet Vegeta.
It's the same planet. It just wasn't.
They didn't have a tyrannical king that wanted the planet to be named after.
That's why they're so
Planet
smart.
Was he a tyrannical
Planet
king?
Planet Vegeta
Yes.
wasn't the original Saiyan planet.
Oh,
There was a
that's
planet
right.
before that was Planet Sadala
That's
Um,
right.
or Salad, whatever you want to call it.
Uh-huh.
And then they go and then they take over the Tuffle planet and make that Planet Vegeta.
Oh, I forgot they keep doing that. They go planet to planet.
But that's an arc that everybody wants to see in Super, and they just won't give us.
That's
Where
true.
Vegeta and Goku go to Planet Sadala in Universe
Right.
6.
Meet a bunch of Saiyans.
Yeah.
Hey, buddies.
It was interesting how they made them stronger than Planet Vegeta Saiyans. Like
Oh,
Were-
yeah, and
were
they,
they?
and they took away their tails. Yes, absolutely.
oh yeah,
Oh,
I mean, they were
comparable
base
to
form.
gods.
They were base form Goku and Vegeta level.
You
and
said they took away their tails? I
They-
forgot that.
They didn't have tails. They never had or it's been so long that they don't remember having
They
tails.
evolved without them.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
but it's kind of implied that since they didn't have them, they're kind of like Goten and Trunks.
Yeah.
That they are stronger. Like it's basically like they got the extra power of having a tail, just don't have a tail in the
Yeah.
transformation.
That was something I always thought. I don't know that this would be. I mean, this is more of just a Dragon Ball in general statement, but I really liked that the half breeds were stronger. I thought that was a neat little idea for a while.
Yeah.
They got rid of them quickly.
Oh yeah,
They-
because they're like, well, they don't like. Well, they kind of balanced it out because they said that the half breeds don't have that super longing to fight, so they become more.
Yeah, they
they-
have their own passions.
Yeah, and so if they find something that they like more than fighting, they just kind of dig right into that, like Gohan did with studies.
Yeah.
And Trunks and Goten,
His mom
if you
made
count
him do that.
GT / the end
That's
of
what I was
Z,
about to say.
like girls.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Trunks
Trunks and GT was pretty intellectual.
Yes, he was. He was
weird.
he was the president of Capsule Corp.
Yeah, it was a weird twist.
But he was also big on the girls,
Well,
or for a little bit anyway.
I thought it was Goten. I was bigger on girls.
Oh, they both were.
He was bigger on it because Trunks was like, oh, I got to run a business.
Right. Well, and also Goten was just hotter.
Who you know who's a really badass character in GT? Master Roshi.
In GT, he's
No.
in 2 episodes.
Yeah,
I don't remember him being.
he's in the first episode and the last episode.
He's so different.
He's in
though.
like 2, and also it's just 2 scenes, really, or maybe
If
like
anything,
4
he's
scenes
cooler
total.
in
Yeah.
Super.
I'm just saying it because he's different.
He's
in
definitely
GT.
cooler. So you mean because he has a costume change that doesn't look very good?
I'm trying to be hip.
I mean, he's literally in 4 scenes.
No, I get it.
Krillin's not even in that many in GT.
Mhm.
No.
I just thought it was
he's
really.
no, he's not
I thought
nearly
it
as
was-
many, but he's
He's in more than.
Yeah. Well, his scene, I think,
Roshi.
but I was saying that his scenes are more impactful, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the Krillin
Oh, I
scenes
mean, I
more.
love the last thing Goku does with Krillin. when
Yeah,
he goes
having
to
a little
say
spar,
goodbye, and
yeah.
little spar, and then they remember what it was like, on Coney Island. That was really cool.
Oh,
They
that-
did
that
use
was
a
really
non-canon scene that was kind of dumb.
Which one?
Well, I don't know if it was a mistranslation in the dub. Because when they flash back to Dragon Ball and it's them two powering up by the ocean, Master Roshi says that Krillin's aura was too strong. Like, it was stronger than Goku's, and that was never the case.
Oh,
Like,
Never.
I think that was
Oh,
I think that was
I
old
remember
Krillin trying to think he was
I remember
he was
that.
stronger. He's like, I remember I was stronger than him at one point. Because Krillin was never stronger than Goku at
Was
no
that
point.
a thing in Dragon Ball that Krillin was like always
It
tried
is
to
in
like
the
joke around
dub.
like, oh, I'm stronger than you.
No, it was just that one scene. Like he
Oh, I didn't know if that was
No,
like
I mean Krillin in Dragon Ball. Like this is getting off topic by a lot, but he was kind of cocky after the first World Martial Arts tournament.
it was stemmed from insecurity, though.
That's fair. So
But-
one thing I enjoyed in GT, and it was weird thing, but I enjoyed the facial hair for Vegeta.
Yeah, so Vegeta's facial hair.
Yeah, it was just I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool to see them like grow facial hair for the first time in ever. Like
Toriyama designed that just because he thought it would make people mad.
really?
Yes.
Why?
Did
Did he not like GT?
He didn't like. Well, he wanted Dragon Ball to be done. Like,
That's
that was
fair.
the whole thing. Is he wanted Dragon Ball to be done, and they were like, no. We want you to design these characters, and we'll make the story. And he's like, okay. So he kind of. That's why Vegeta's hair looks weird in GT. Also, it doesn't look
He was a
accurate.
flat top.
Yeah, it's very odd.
Videl also looked kind of weird in there too.
I mean, she just got older. Like,
Yeah, that
That was
I
hard
didn't.
to read.
I honestly, for remember when I first watched it, seeing Videl, I didn't recognize her until someone mentioned her name. I was like, that did not look like Videl.
I mean, that's kind of fair, but it was just her getting older. Like, that was pretty much
And then,
the explanation there.
Another thing, I'm going back to Super, honestly, because when he brought up Master Roshi, if you consider the manga any, the fact that he, quote unquote, used Ultra Instinct against Jiren.
Oh, I actually really like that.
Yeah.
Like, I like that Master Roshi has this trick, had a trick that's very similar.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that, one, I just really like Master Roshi.
Oh, he's an amazing
The
character.
fact that Master Roshi could go toe-to-toe with Jiren for any amount of time.
Even if it's 2 seconds.
Even if it's 2 seconds. I mean, that makes him the strongest. He is either, it doesn't matter, manga or anime. Master Roshi's the strongest human. There's no...
He has to.
There's no...
Because which actually that's something I wanted to bring up was the recruitment, like, mini block, where Goku was recruiting everybody. And what was it? It was Goku was controlled by someone? Was that what happened?
No. Master Roshi was controlled by this girl named Urine.
Yes.
And
that's right.
She wanted to.
he had a talisman on his head and he was purple. And fucking Tien starts fighting him, uses his forearm technique, gets slapped by Master Roshi. Mm-hmm. And then Goku starts fighting with him. And Goku, I mean, he's in his base form still. Yeah. But Goku's kind of struggling a little bit in his base form. Like, it's one of those things where he would have needed, like, to actually win, he probably would have needed to use either Kaioken or Super Saiyan, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know if he had to use one of those. I think he probably just would have been okay with killing Roshi.
Yeah,
I think that's. But even with him having to push himself,
it's kind of the same.
He would have had to use his max base form.
It's kind of the same way with him versus Krillin, because like he didn't need to use Super Saiyan Blue.
Well, Krillin's thing was it. No, Krillin pushed him with cunning.
Yeah, he used techniques to. Like, he showed him like things that he didn't even think of for the tournament. Like, I think it's hilarious that Tien has not mastered any of his, like, other people have mastered every one of Tien's techniques.
Right.
Like the Dodon Ray, what's his name? Tao, had the Super Dodon Ray in Super.
Yeah.
Krillin with the solar flare times 100.
That's a wait. Technique.
He has one. But
super?
Technically he hasn't. No, I was talking about in the original Dragon Ball.
You always said Super.
It's just a technique he used, the Dodon Ray.
Yeah, he used it in Super.
And then the multiform technique, Cell mastered it. Yeah. And there's one, but I don't think Tien's mastered it. The Tri-Beam, like nobody else uses it, but
so that's definitely his technique.
Yeah, but
that's sad though to think about that. I don't think it's funny. I think it's sad.
So would we like to talk about the Broly movie? Because I thought it was I think it's probably the best thing Dragon Ball.
Oh, I think that movie is amazing.
Better than pretty much every arc of the 3 or 4.
That sounds hilarious.
Oh, I think Dragon Ball is better than like the Broly movie, but I will say the Broly movie is a great movie.
Oh, I mean, I think it's really
the Broly movie is the one thing, because honestly I forgot about that when we were first talking about it. Broly movie destroys anything in Super or GT. Like,
oh yeah.
Well, I mean, the only problem I have with the Broly movie is that they used the minus story for Bardock and all that. Like, because I like the Bardock special a whole lot.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were just like, oh, he's Superman, like, that bothered me a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely went minus.
And another thing, because it, like, minus brings in a lot of issues, because it's like, Goku was supposed to be this Riley teen, or not teen, but kid, when he first got off the ship. But if he's anything like he is in that movie, I mean, he was older. Docile. He was older, and he knew who his parents were, and he was docile, so there was no point where he would fight.
You just have to use headcanon at that point to be like, well, he forgot a lot when he hit his head type of thing.
Yeah. Well, but I'm saying, like, it would have been one of those things where he would maybe never hit his head though, because he hit his head, he fell because he was being all...
But, I mean, he could have just been dropped.
I mean, that's why I say you just have to fill it with headcanon.
And also his name would still be Kakarot.
Yeah. Which also, I mean, you were talking about Toriyama not wanting to do GT. He wanted to end Dragon Ball at Frieza.
No, I remember that.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. He
kept having.
He was mad at that point.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But I'm saying you're saying he was mad at that point, but then he brings facial hair back.
Well, he doesn't. He's not in charge of Super, correct?
He gives them a outline of what they need to do, and then they do it.
Yeah.
Because they
They
brought
add in
facial
little
hair
thing-
back.
Yes, and he was just okay with that. Was
Yeah.
pretty much what was.
He hasn't been 100% in charge of Dragon Ball since Boo.
Yeah.
Oh, so he just does.
Did he do the movies?
I think he had because it had been so much. Yes, he did them. I know for a fact he did Battle of Gods almost completely because it was a really late response, but he was really upset at Dragon Ball Evolution, and because of that movie is why we have Super and the two Z movies. And
I'm
all
being
that.
honest, I'd be upset at Evolution too.
Evolution.
But it was a really late response. I
It was
don't
bad.
I don't understand.
You had to process it.
Like,
I guess.
going back to Super, what did y'all think about Jiren as a character?
Oh, I didn't
Boring.
like him.
Boring.
Yeah, super boring.
Really?
Bad villain.
Oh yeah.
It was just super strong for
Yeah.
what?
This is a really strong guy with a
Literally,
past we don't know anything about really.
we do know about somebody killed his or his whole clan or whatever.
He was the only one
And
left.
he was the only one left, and he was like, "Oh, strength is the only thing I can rely on. I have to become strong." So he didn't have any friends or anything, even though he's part of the Pride Troopers. He never.
I love the Pride Troopers.
He never became friends with any of them. But then at the end, Topo was like, "You do have friends, me," and he was like, "Oh,
I have friends.
Hey, Topo
After-
was badass.
yeah." No,
I like
Topo
this,
was great.
I love that whole group. Like,
I mean, just like
If I'm being
Goku
honest,
and
the only
Vegeta.
two good
The
ones
second
were
one's the best
Topo
one.
and Dispo.
I just liked it because it was kind of like at the Ginyu Force. Like, I love the Ginyu Force.
Because
and
I liked
it was
the fight
basically-
between Dispo, Golden Frieza, and Gohan, where they had to outsmart him with the laser.
Oh right. The net, there was that net of death beams and all that all around him and stuff. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Topo was the one that did the.
Topo's the one who became a god of destruction and got really badass.
Because he kept trying to kill Vegeta with that one move.
with Hakai, yeah,
Hakai.
with a weird version of Hakai.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I
I
thought
guess
It was an unmastered version, I
I
think.
was gonna
is
say, it
what they were
worked
trying to
differently
get
than
at
I
with
thought Hakai actually worked. Like, because
No, I mean Hakai is
Because I
just
thought you
an
just
eraser.
basically if you were looking at the person and said Hakai, they got destroyed.
no.
because
Beerus, every time he's done it, he's been real close to people. You have to be within a foot or whatever.
Oh,
Also,
But his version of it is kind of like a. I'll let. Do you want to go ahead? Or
Swear.
do you want to go ahead? Or?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say was because during the whole thing when he was recruiting people, when was it the God of Universe 9 or something like that? It was one that got to destruction. He gave that small Hakai to one of the assassins,
Right. Yeah.
and it was like a little small ball. It was similar to what
It's
Topo was throwing.
Yeah, it's sort of like I think it's like the entry level version of Hakai, is like the little ball thing. I think that's the most simplest way to learn it, even though Goku and Super Manga was able to use the mastered version immediately against Zamasu.
I mean,
but anyway.
Goku just masters everything really quick.
Yeah, but so
to
does
be fair.
everybody in Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Everybody's a prodigy.
I would say, where would you
Because
put
Boo did the same thing.
where would you put the strength of the Hakai move on master level? Like, is it super devastating, or is it
I'm pretty sure the way it works, as long as you're stronger than your opponent, it is guaranteed to.
It can destroy dead people.
Yeah, it can erase ghosts. It erases things. It doesn't
Wasn't
kill.
that a filler episode actually?
No, there is no filler in Super.
I actually did not know.
Sadly,
Yeah, because there's no manga for it. Well, it goes off the manga, but they're different. Like,
the
it's
manga.
like,
No, the manga goes off of it. The manga
Wait,
goes
really?
off the anime
oh,
really?
because the anime came out before the manga.
Oh, that's right. It did.
Yeah,
It did.
It's kind of like you just pick which one you want to be canon.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
I kind of do a mesh of both. To be honest, I take what I like from both.
That's fair.
Because man, they both got their problems, especially right now in the moral arc. But we're not going to talk about that here.
Which was your favorite fight in the Super Universe tournament?
The universe tournament.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the universe.
I read those chapters and I agree.
Let me think. Oh, I mean,
Oh, I know mine.
mine's the end fight with Jiren, Vegeta.
Because
not
you
Vegeta,
like
but-
Jiren.
No,
Oh,
but I
with
love
Frieza.
I
You
love
like that
Frieza.
one, like that really
fight scene
badass
was
scene.
really cool.
Yeah.
I love the part because Goku's like going in and out of Super Saiyan,
Yep.
and Frieza's still in his final form, so it feels very Namek Saga.
Yeah.
Like it's very interesting.
Yeah, it was just really cool.
My favorite is probably the Kefla fight / if you count all of the Kale and Caulifla build up through the transformation, all of that. One, that fight, those fights, a lot of the episodes had really good animation because they brought that Takahashi or whatever his name is, or no Takahashi, I don't know, some dude who's really good at animation for those episodes, and it looked really good, as well as I like the female Saiyans a lot.
I think mine would have to be again Hit versus Goku. That
That's
fight was
fair.
really cool.
So let's talk about GT a little bit. What do y'all think about the ending movie, like the way they ended it?
Oh,
With
the fact that Goku's still alive and he's like an
Goku
adult.
Jr.
Yeah.
Well, he's like he's immortal at that point. He would have
Don't
to.
like it.
This is not quite the movie, but this is like the end of GT. I really like the idea of him flying off with the dragon, like becoming basically immortal,
leaving his whole family behind.
Yeah.
Something he's done through the whole show.
That's fair. That's fair.
Also,
I enjoyed seeing that little. I enjoyed seeing that little fight.
Also, he's
with,
a kid. Like, what is like? I don't know.
Also, he said that they don't need him anymore.
Yeah.
That's
and
fair.
he would just grow up to watch them die.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that little fight with like their great grandsons or whatever.
That's what we were getting. That's in the movie. Yeah, that's that movie.
And
Well,
he's on his way to find the
the 4-star Dragon
he
Ball.
thinks you just need one to get the wish.
Yeah, but I mean it's multiple generations, so it makes sense why he's so weak. But man, is he weak? He's a little baby.
He would barely be saiyan at that point.
Yeah, I think he was like. I think I did the thing. I think he's like a 32, like
something.
You know, a 32nd Saiyan.
It's not a lot.
He was still able to go Super Saiyan though. So good for him.
Right.
Against Bear.
I guess as long as you have a little bit in there.
Against a bear. I did like that. It did feel kind of like Dragon Ball again a little bit. That movie actually did.
Yeah.
Because the villains were, like, there was like those demons and that bear guy, and it was like very Dragon Ball-esque.
Yeah.
And the fact that he met met in quotation marks his grandpa was neat.
I would say it's not really his grandpa, but you know.
Yeah.
Pam was ugly.
She was an old woman, dude.
She's still ugly.
That's
Okay.
fair. No
Can't
I
wait
was
to
gonna say she was like, I think she's supposed to be like 90 something.
Can't
like,
wait
come
to
on
see
now.
what you're gonna look like when you get old.
And then just shit in the corner, you see just Master Roshi just sitting there.
I mean, theoretically, he should still be around.
I mean, which is he again? Is he like Eternal Life or like?
What else?
That's fair.
Yeah, he doesn't have eternal youth. That's why he's
Yeah.
old. Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't be dead.
That's why he has to eat the flower, like that little flower thing now in Super, is because it's to keep his body young, like to keep from
decaying.
From decaying, from becoming a walking corpse, pretty much.
Yeah, which I mean, he kind of already is.
No, man, he's got them gains.
Yeah. Why the fuck did he never learn how to fly?
Because it was Crane's technique.
Oh, that makes sense.
He hates him, and it's also Demon King Piccolo.
Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah, he would have a reason.
I forget why did he hate Crane?
They were best friends.
They were best friends, and then after seeing Demon King Piccolo's evil, he decided he wanted that same kind of power, and so he turned into those ways.
Yeah.
And so him and his brother both became like killers, and just the bad side of martial arts.
Yeah. Yeah, basically they were Cobra Kai and Master Roshi.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what that whole that's what that second tournament was supposed to be, was the Karate Kid, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Yeah.
And it was like Cobra Kai because the bad guy turned good.
Yeah.
And started his own dojo. Like
Yeah,
Super.
They knew that would happen. But, yeah. Like, I don't know. I mean, Super definitely is more fun than GT. I'll say that. Like, I think I have definitely discovered that. Like, I do think as like an overall arching plot, something to follow up Z, GT's better. But Super, I mean, Super's
the turn your brain off and just watch the interesting fight scenes.
Yeah.
Like,
Watch the
see your favorite characters get stronger.
See them do things.
Yeah, if you want to watch a little bit more like of a story than GT, skip that first little season and then.
So I'm gonna go back a little bit for 17 for 1 minute. Do y'all think him being added to the roster was random?
No.
I mean, they would definitely seek him out. It was interesting that was that the first time 17 ever met Goku?
Yes.
It
absolutely was, and it was great.
Yeah, that was really weird.
The whole recruiting of 17 was awesome, especially since you learned that while he was inside of second form cell, he could hear everything. So he heard everything that 16 said and all that. So he took what 16 said, who was a friend of his, to heart, and he decided he was going to protect all the animals.
Yeah.
And he didn't care. I liked his mentality of, if everything is going to get erased, then there's nothing to fight. Like, I don't care. I don't want to participate. Like, there's nothing worth fighting for.
Yeah.
It's interesting that he's got, I think he has 3 adopted kids and 1 kid who's actually his.
I think that's
But you never get to see any of them or his wife. And he met Marin for the first time.
Yeah.
In either that episode or a subsequent episode.
I think it was that episode.
And there's that little gag that I love where they take a little jab at the filler from Z. because her name's Marin, and that was the name of that girlfriend character.
Yeah.
And he pronounces it differently. He pronounces like the blue-haired Marin from the filler, and 18 gets fucking mad.
Right.
And I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Why did they do 17 and not 18?
They were both in there.
Huh?
In the tournament? Oh,
Yeah.
Because 18 had that, like, 18 was the
tag
one who
team.
eliminated Ribrianne.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Because it was all, she eliminated somebody. She eliminated the other two.
That might be right. I just remember they did a tag team, Krillin.
Oh no, 18 and 17
They did that at the
didn't
very
work in the
beginning.
tournament.
Yeah,
and then
that's all I
Krillin got
remember.
eliminated.
People out.
18 made it very far.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure she's the one who eliminated Ribrianne.
Who was the first off their team?
Krillin.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
It was
Poor
Krillin, then Tien.
It was partially, I think,
then
Frieza's
Roshi.
fault.
I don't know.
Yes, it was, because it was whenever he was, like, teamed up with
Frost.
I think.
Yeah. That was cool.
Frieza's a dick.
That's another thing. It's like you never really knew what they were going to do with Frieza's story. You know? You didn't know. Why
Did
Frieza
any of you-
a dick? He followed through.
I mean, he followed through, but I just think Frieza's a dick sometimes.
And even in the Broly movie, like, I mean, hey.
But
Did any of you all actually think they were going to, like, give, like, they did wish Frieza. Did they wish Frieza back to life?
They didn't
No,
wish him.
Whis
Wish
just
him
gave
back.
him life.
They would have. Goku would have.
I didn't know if anybody
He
thought
would have
that,
to go to
like,
Namek, but yeah, he would have.
Yeah.
To get back to the 18 fight real quick, I wanted to finish my thought on that.
of course.
I'm sorry.
Because I'm pretty sure she was the one who eliminated Ribrianne, because Ribrianne and the other two were making fun of, like, they were kind of disgusted that she was in love with Krillin, because Krillin looked the way he did, I guess.
Oh, right.
And then after she gets eliminated, the goddess of destruction for that universe was like, no, love can take any form or something along those lines. And I thought that was really neat. And just the fact,
even the ugly can find love, Axel.
and I also thought Ribrianne's technique, like she had like a spirit bomb like technique, but it was gravity. It was like a black hole.
Yeah.
And the fact that 17 and 18 could like almost stand up and Goku could was pretty neat. Like all of that was pretty neat.
Was it confirmed in Super, or was it confirmed in Z that the androids had limited energy? Or they don't get
They
tired?
can-
don't
they
get-
They have
don't get
unlimited
tired.
energy, yes.
Yeah, they don't.
Oh, I don't know if they could absorb energy.
Those
No,
two couldn't.
that's 19
I
and
just
20.
remember. I just remember
Video
17
Yeah, only in the
saying
video
that they
game.
couldn't get
Oh.
tired or something like
Yeah,
that.
that they
don't
can.
get tired.
Yeah, they can never tire out.
I was trying to remember that was confirmed in Super.
I mean, they can be injured and stuff, but they
it
can
was
never
in
tire.
Z.
Yeah, it was in Z. Because that's like
That seems really broken to have unlimited energy.
I mean, it is.
it is, and they can't be sensed.
That's why, I mean, they were like, super, like, feared. Like,
Yeah.
for, like, half a season.
Yeah,
That's
because they could never tire. So even if you were stronger, if they could hold out long enough. I mean,
He just really liked him some Terminator storylines.
yeah,
I mean, I can also put it this way. I'm pretty sure 17 didn't do as much intense training as like potentially 18 did. Because I feel like out of the two, 18 probably did more training than 17. But if he was able to hold out his own against Super Saiyan Blue Goku,
oh no, fucking 17's very, very, very strong.
He's the third strongest on that team. Fourth. Vegeta's above him.
yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be Goku,
Yeah, Frieza,
Vegeta, 17.
and he was the winner of the tournament. Was really neat.
That's what I loved.
Jeez.
Now, and a lot of people don't like this, but apparently 17 got stronger just fending off poachers on an island.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid.
That's pretty bad. But Frieza fucking mentally thought.
Do you think Goku plan that was Goku's whole plan was to have 17 win from the
No.
beginning?
Goku
They-
didn't have a plan. His plan
No.
was like, let's win this tournament.
Yeah, because he thought like, oh, at the very least, nobody will win. Like, or when they were doing, well, that and if they went like, downwards, Jiren would technically get eliminated first, kind of thing.
It's crazy how like strong that team is considering their universe is the weakest. Isn't their universe the weakest?
No.
It was
They have the
tied as-
lowest mortal rating.
That's what it was.
It was tied between 9 and 7 of the moral rating.
No, I think 9's was actually lower than 7's. Because theirs is a bunch of scumbags. I mean, they got Bergamo and Basil and other dude that no one cares about.
What was that yard?
Trio de Danger.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Trash.
Did y'all enjoy seeing the different gods of destruction, or was it just?
Yeah, I mean, I thought their
Some of the
designs
designs
were
were
neat.
really cool.
I
Like,
like the clown.
I liked the dragon looking one just because we know that the guy who created the Super Dragon Balls is a god, like is like the dragon god, and he exists somewhere.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll eventually see him.
I like the Fox one.
Yeah,
like,
we
I
know
wonder what
he exists.
connection that god will have to Namek. Like, it would have to have some type.
I don't want to ask
No,
you
the
why.
the
Cool
Nameks
stuff.
saw the
I think-
Super Dragon Balls, like kind of,
Oh.
and then they
Okay,
copied
so
that
that's how
idea.
it,
Yeah.
I mean, that is connection. That's what I mean. It's
Yeah.
just something like
Yeah,
that.
that's the connection.
I didn't
It's
know
similar
that.
to like Kami just knowing how to make them and being able to make an imitation of.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just realized something. Can I do anything in Super?
Super?
Yeah.
I mean,
I just kind of thought about that.
Other than the movie recaps, I don't know that he was in it very much.
Yeah.
But I
I'm
mean,
gonna say
he's-
he let Goku use his planet.
Again.
Like,
Let's a strong word. Oh, no, I'm thinking about something else. I was about who was using it for the bomb. The
Oh,
bomb.
for
sound.
I mean, I don't think King Kai ever wants him like come there.
That's probably fair. It doesn't usually go well for him.
Oh, wait, I forgot
Yeah.
he was dead, so it relevant.
Yeah, he died. In
I
like,
think they finally wished him back to life.
No, he didn't. Because they were going to, and then the Dragon Ball, they said, oh, we just wish him something else. Sorry, King Kai.
I think he might be right.
But I thought they went back. I think maybe in the manga. At
Maybe.
one point, I think he actually pays that debt and brings
Not
it
that
back.
there's any reason to wish him back.
No, he gets made fun of by the other.
Oh,
characters.
that's right. Yeah, that is right.
loser.
But yeah. So I don't know. I think
He gets made fun of because Sam was a freaking moron.
Super's definitely more fun. I mean, it's the one look at how much we've talked about it compared to how much we've talked about GT. You know, like, I mean, I don't know. With GT, there's not much to talk about, and it's kind of like the problem is like a lot of it's lackluster.
Yeah.
Even if it is a better arc, it's boring. I think that's the biggest
Yeah,
weakness. It's
because I
boring.
mean, we could bring up Baby and talk about him probably for a little bit, but Baby's kind of like that. Baby Saga is really the only one you can bring up and continue to talk about, like,
Oh, I hate it, baby. That thing was ugly.
because the
God, it's all about looks with you.
yeah, because the one neat thing is that he couldn't go Super Saiyan 4 because he wasn't, there was an impurity within him or whatever, because he had the same conditions.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing you all can really talk about in GT is that, like, do y'all really think GT is better than Super?
I think it's a better overarching story. I think it's a better follow up, but I think it's boring.
Yeah.
So I think it just depends on your criteria. Like,
That's fair.
I do think I love that the villain is connected to the Saiyans. Like Baby, I like that he has this deep rooted hate for the Saiyans.
And he would have never found them if it hadn't been for them going on that adventure and running into him.
Because I think that's why I like the Broly movie so much. It's all Saiyan centric.
Oh yeah, I love that the whole Paragus having like a vendetta against Vegeta. I like that he's they're mad at Vegeta, not Goku.
Right.
Like,
oh yeah, they didn't redo the whole crying thing.
Yeah.
Oof.
For me, it's
Broly was a lot more interesting of a character because he's basically just a caveman at that point.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a lot more interesting. And Chile and Lemon like helped quite a bit with him actually having friends.
Yeah.
That was the old man and the girl, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The
Broly movie basically made you like fans of Broly, like, oh, okay, so now he's finally canon. Like,
I think his design looked cooler than
Honestly,
better.
and maybe
I like the scar. Just the fact that he had the scars, I thought was a better
I think
addition.
him as a character is a lot better too.
Oh, and I love the wrathful Broly, people call it, the form where he has the power of the Great Ape, but he his tail's gone.
Yeah.
Like, that is great because I love how his eyes change the color and he gets bigger. Like, that transformation is probably my favorite.
Man, now I just want to go home and watch that movie.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to bring back Broly?
Yes.
You think so?
Absolutely.
oh yeah.
I'm just kind of surprised they haven't done it. Well, spoilers in the manga.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that movie was the most popular thing, Dragon Ball.
Well, I was gonna say another arc's about to start up in the manga, and would be very surprised if Broly wasn't in
You'll
it.
see Broly again before it's all said and done.
And I'm pretty sure that Dragon Ball Super anime is coming back sometime next year.
I hope so.
That's what I've heard from different sources, like different YouTubers and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's something to look forward to. Hopefully, they do a better job with the moral arc than the fucking manga does.
So this isn't really a statement about either shows, and I don't know if this is better said like behind curtain doors, but I would hope we could talk about the movies next. Talking about the Broly movie definitely makes me think that, maybe we could please the people's ears with a
little bit of a tournament bracket.
could be.
Ooh.
Well, if you're looking forward to that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next one.
Yep.